Hello and welcome to Watchdog Wargaming. Today we're back to Korea and the Warlord Games Boltaction Korea supplement, and we're looking at the Chinese forces artillery and anti-tank weapons. To start the ball rolling, we'll have a look at the Chinese anti-tank guns. In this particular case, it's the 45mm model 1937 anti-tank gun, which was produced by the Soviets. It was also used by the North Koreans, and as you can see by here, I seem to have bought the North Korean version of this rather than the Chinese version. Exactly the same anti-tank weapon, crew slightly different. So just a little bit of information on this. The Soviet produced 45mm model 1937 light anti-tank gun was based on the German 37mm Pak 36 design, the door knocker. The anti-tank gun looks much as the same as the Pak 36 or the Pak 40, constructed and housed on the same carriage. So I'll open this up in a second, but this is one that I produced earlier for my my North Koreans. So as you can see, it looks very much like the German version of Pak 36, and so this is what the end result is. I've left the crew off on this one, but this is for my North Koreans. Okay, so let's have a look at what's the model's going to be looking like in the inside. Just get your sharp knife out. Just be mindful of the fingers. I bet you're all waiting for me to cut my fingers at some point. All right. Have I been successful? Yes, there we are. All right, let's put all the rubbish to one side. Okay, Packer Bingo today is Becky M, so thank you Becky M, much appreciated. And let's see what's been packed. So yeah, we've got the normal bolt action base for artillery pieces. You've got the trails, again lots of mould on here. You know, that's the only one criticism I would think sometimes is just if they made that effort just to take the extra bits of metal off, these could be reutilized and melted down and make other figures. So it's but I know it's probably a time-consuming process, but that's mean. So you've got the two trails, you've got the barrel, and then you've got the actual mount as well for the 45mm gun, and then you've got the wheels, which are spoked wheels. There's the sight elevator and depressor. You've got your front splash plate. Yeah, these are all covered in this dry powder, which is part of the manufacturing process, and that's why I'm wearing gloves at the moment. Let's see if I can get these to focus. There we are. And then you've actually got the axle and the front splash plate as well, so that's part of that. And then these would be normally the Chinese one, but I made a bit of a goof and ordered the North Korean ones. So but yeah, so if I choose to use these for my North Koreans, I might do. If not, I must just bit of green stuff and just change the headwear on them slightly. So you got a loader, you got an observation spotter, and you've got another loading around in as well. Again, this is classed as a light anti-tank gun, and I will just put the rules pertaining to it on the next slide. So there we are. That is the M42 anti-tank gun. Wrong, not the M42, I'm jumping ahead slightly. The 45mm model 1937 anti-tank gun. Like it says, that is it's a three-man team, one light anti-tank gun. Special rules for bolt action there. It's a team weapon, it's fixed, and it's got a gun shield. So there we are. So what we'll move on to next is the ZIL 3 anti-tank gun. And now we'll look at the ZIS 3 anti-tank gun. A little bit of information on this. So later in the war, the Soviets began sending surplus equipment and munitions to the Communist forces in northern China in preparation for a Soviet attack on Japan. The ZIL 3 76.2mm rapid-firing semi-automatic anti-tank gun fired 25 rounds a minute and was originally designed to penetrate heavy German armour. The ZIS 3 is capable of being horse-drawn and can be used as anti-tank gun or a howitzer. I'll put this information from the Boltactionkorea supplement rules on the next slide. Okay, so let's open up this one and have a look. Okay, pack of bingo. There's Vaz. Cheers, Vaz. Thank you very much. All the rest of the junk to one side. So, okay, so we've got the base for the actual gun itself, and then we've also got 4 standalone bases for the crew. There we are. Again, put those to one side. Let's have a look at the gun first itself. So again, lots of spare sprue metal bits on here as well. Some of it's, again, if they just took their time, they could reuse some of this spare metal and recast some of some extra figures. But I know they're all busy. So let's start off with the actual gun itself. So this is the 76.2mm anti-tank gun, but again, it can also be used as a light howitzer as well. So you've got Bertie bonus, anti-tank and a howitzer all in one. So this is probably my preference for what I would take in on the battlefield. So there's the gun itself, the actual block. So what's to say, it's all nicely casted, apart from this this metal you'll have to remove. It's got that dusting powder on still. And then we've got the 2 trails. Again, this is going to be towed either by horse-drawn vehicle or even pulled along by manpower. And then it looks like you've got, so on this side you've got the support for the actual gun itself, the mount, but it's also got the elevator and depressor and sight built into it as well. Okay, front splash plate. There's your flash plate, more bits of metal on here again. So there's lots of design details on there as well. And then the wheels. Okay, quite hefty bit of metal on there. So that's going to be careful to get a clip off that and then file it down. And then let's have a look at the crew, because these ones are the definitely the Chinese crews. So again, come with the sort of Mao cap, their summer dress, tunic and trousers, and puttees carrying them around. It's got a couple of bags over his shoulder. So again, another pose, covering his ears from the explosions of the gun firing. Not so much flash on there, these ones. Okay, another one in a similar dress, armed with a pistol this time and loading a round in. And this looks like the the number 1 or the NCO for the gun itself. Looks like he's going to fire that gun pose. There's cap in his hand. I think that's going to be fun to paint that one up. So there we are. That's the Ziz 3 anti-tank gun, which can also be used as a light howitzer as well. I'll put up the details on the information on it on the next slide. What we'll have a look at now is the 75mm M1A1 pack howitzer. Like I said in the last video, there was one of the weapons I was going to show you was used at Arnhem, and this is what I was talking about, the pack howitzer. So the blurb on it is the small caliber 75mm M1A1 was a light pack howitzer widely used during World War II and the Civil War in China. This was the same 75mm used by the US and British airborne forces in World War II. Chinese nationalists were initially supplied with a weapon by the Americans for use in the Burma campaign during World War II. The 75mm M1A1 proved highly effective in the mountains of Korea when available. Okay, so let's open it up and let's have a look at this one. Side. Okay, packing bingo. Oh, Gable. Cheers, Gable. So again, it comes with your normal Warlord Games bases for artillery, and on this time, because it's got a 3-gun crew, you've got 3 of the bases. Now it's up to you whether you base the actual weapon itself with the figures, or you put them separate. Personal preference for myself, I make them separate so I can remove casualties when we take them, or I can use as in the Pack 38, so the Pack 38 or the Soviet weapons I can use for German forces, or if I'm doing World War II Russians. So the choice is yours. So again, with this one, I will probably mount this singly, so then I can use that with my World War II Americans and British airborne forces later on. So it's again, it's a universal item, which is good. So we've got the main chassis for the gun itself here. The trail comes in a single piece rather than split. And there's the mount for the actual gun itself. Still got that dusting powder, not so much metal, spare metal on the to take off. We have the wheels. Now the only difference is the ones I've seen in the photographs that are in Korea is that because the wheels are slightly different, and those were wooden wheels. So the gun, the mount is exactly the same, but the actual wheels itself weren't so like pneumatic tyres, but from the pictures I've seen were 99.9% the a wooden spoked version. And then this is the actual gun itself. Okay. And then, so we've got an extra bit, which is good question. I don't know what that one is, but I'll have to have a look at what the picture is. I think that's part of when that down there when you can go to move it. So it's part of the actual moving mechanism. I could be wrong, but I'll have a look later on in the pictures. And then sort of tow hook. And yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure on what that one is, so we'll have a look. So it's the first time making one of these particular guns. And then we've got the first 3-man crew. So yep, typical same sculpts as the previous ones. Loader, armed with a pistol. It's got his Chinese uniform on, summer uniform on, and the Mao cap. It looks like you can either use this as the commander, or if you get others as spotters. Who's got the binos? And another loader as well. Again, same uniform, summer uniform. And there we are. So that is the 75mm M1A1 pack howitzer, and that is basically the end of my presentation. So I've showed you the anti-tank weapons, the one that can be used for both anti-tank and as a light howitzer, and this one as well, which is also a light howitzer. Other options for artillery you could use are the Type 41 75mm mounting gun, which was a Japanese World War II artillery piece, which could be broken down and carried by men, mules or horses. Or you could go the other way, and the 15cm German supplied SFH-18 heavy howitzer, which was purchased back in the 1930s by the Chinese, but you would probably need it, I think that was towed by eight horses or a heavy artillery tractor. Other options for the artillery, 57mm recoilless rifle, which again, that's I'm not sure that figure is actually available at the moment, but certainly possible. One may be coming out shortly, but for the Americans, I'm not sure, with a bit of kit bashing and head swaps, so but you could do that. And also you've got the BS3 anti-tank gun, which was a 100mm gun, anti-tank gun, that was used right towards the end of the war by the Soviets, predominantly as a naval anti-tank aircraft gun, but again it was fielded by the Chinese. So there we are. There's a few options that you have to look at. Again, these do paint up quite nicely, and so as I said earlier on, that's one I produced earlier. I'm not a good painter, take my time, but as I said, that'll do perfect for me. So this is sort of things that you can do quite easily. So thanks for your time. What I'll be looking at next is a few odds and sods when it comes to support weapons. So we'll be looking at the Chinese Super Bazooka, the flamethrowers and engineers as well. So we'll look at that next, and then I think that's coming to the end of these Chinese reviews, and then I've got to get on and paint them all, which is brilliant. So thanks for joining me, much appreciated. You take your time, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Slowly we're climbing up the subscribers channel, which is brilliant, so that's thanks to you all. So you lot take care, and I will catch up with you very, very soon. Bye for now.
Squad morale restored.